Shabbat Shalom, and welcome to 5 Minutes of Torah with the Beth Israel Rabbi. This week we read Parashat Noach. Most of us think about Noach and the flood and the ark that was built, the destruction of the world and the second creation when we think of this Torah portion. But at the end of the Torah portion, there's a fascinating narrative as well. The people who have reconstituted the world come together and build a tower. This is known as the Tower of Babel. This tower is one that is built in order to reach the heavens. And there's really no purpose other than just to have people come together and build it, at which point God comes and destroys the tower, sending people around the world speaking many different languages, thus giving us the etiology, the origin, history from a biblical perspective for why different people with different languages live around the world. But why does God destroy the tower? The rabbis find this question so important that they actively try to answer it with, for example, the answer that the people built the tower in order to try to be able to reach the heavens in order to fire bows and arrows at God. But it's not exactly clear. Thus, the reason that rabbis come up with all kinds of different answers to this question. But what is clear is that the people finally, after having had a history of living with Hamas, of living in a state of violence, which is why the world was destroyed by God to begin with, now come together for a unified purpose. But we don't know what that unified purpose is. And it seems, actually, at the very best, to be meaningless. This past summer, my family and I spent a few days in Paris. We went to the Eiffel Tower. And I actually have to say that I was quite disappointed to learn that the Eiffel Tower was built really simply because, as I heard from the tour guide, because it could be built. Because they were able to do so. I believe that as human beings, we have a greater purpose in this world. We must come together in unity, not because we can, but because we need to. And that is why I am so proud of our synagogue this past week. That over the course of the last number of months, there has been a small committee working very hard to build what is known as the Veggie Club. And this past week, that committee brought together many volunteers to make over 150 portions of soup that were then donated to the Jewish Food Bank, so that 120 families will have what to eat this week. I am proud of all of the efforts, all of the extreme work and the details that went into making this a possibility by our committee, who worked tirelessly over the course of the last number of months, both putting together the details of how to bring volunteers and people together, how to coordinate recipes, and how to buy and to procure the right vegetables and food products in order to make this dream a reality. This is going to be an ongoing project of Beth Israel, the Veggie Club, in which people will come together to volunteer to cook together once a month in order to be able to do and help those who are in need. This is an example of people coming together for the sake of a greater purpose. This ultimately is why we are here in this world. Thank you. Thank you to our volunteers. Thank you to our committee that helped bring this very important task, this very important goal to fruition. Shabbat Shalom.